Thank you.
Yeah, that's very good, Puneet.
Hi, myself Vishwant. I've done my BE in aeronautical engineering. After that, I worked in one of the aerospace company. Later on, I shifted to many fields like business, marketing, and other thing. Sorry, and I got to know about the like present day market in the aerospace sector and what is the future for the future and needs for the entire in this like, software field. So I got to know DevOps would be the better choice where you can overall look up for the entire thing right from the developing operations and deployment. Like entire process would be covering up in these things. So I choose this DevOps course.
Yeah, good, Ashwin.
Yeah, myself Nageshwar. Good morning to everyone. Myself Nageshwar. Right now working as a IT professional. Earlier I used to work in the different field. Recently, last past 1 year, 1.5 year only, moved to this IT industry. Right now we are working as a talent developer. I'm working right now that. So what is my aim? Intention is I want to work with the cloud platform actually. Of course, the cloud talent also having some cloud platform, but it is different thing actually. It is one of the ETL tool. So right in the future, I hear that DevOps having a good feature for next 20 years also like that. So I inquired a lot while comparing Azure and AWS. Both are having same marketing the right now that. So that is the reason I chosen that AWS for our company purpose also. Our company also asking to do the AWS certification in any one domain like AWS DevOps or AWS Architect or AWS Solution Architect. So here I chosen that AWS DevOps right now that to improve my career growth also for this.
Yeah, very good, nice. Thanks, thank you all. Okay, let me start. Before starting, let me share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see my screen. Are you able to see it?
Yeah, the screen is visible, I
Yes,
think.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Before starting, I will just share a PPT because still it's in under working because actually I was just doing some other work. So this is the PPT which we are going to. This will be the model which we are going to discuss today. So introduction to DevOps. So what is DevOps? Why should you learn DevOps? And what is the learning path to excel in DevOps career? And if we have time we can go to about the Linux and other comments also, but I just want to have it a very light session, so I will just go with only introduction to DevOps, means why you need of the DevOps is the hub, and why we have to learn the DevOps. These are the things we are going to discuss today. As I said, don't consider it as a mentor session. Just whatever you feel like, maybe it feel like it is a stupid question. Also, just try to answer, ask, so that it may be stupid for you, but maybe for others it may be valuable. So make it as a more interactive session, and whatever you feel like, just ask the questions. So before starting into the introduction to DevOps, let me give you an overview. Why, as I said, why should we learn it, and what is this module about? See, this module actually sets a proper context for you to have better understanding of DevOps. Why we are actually want to have a DevOps career, and the overview of this module is having is you if you are working in a IT industry, many people use the term called MVP. MVP is a minimum viable product. And after that, we will be discussing about the SDLC, software development lifecycle. How the actually in the IT industry, how the software development lifecycle helps you to develop a product. And we will be discussing about the common deployment problems, means how the developers and operations team will be having the issues of deploying the things into the market. Means see, so I will explain more further, but I'm just giving an example where a developer is doing some task on his machine, but when it goes to the production, when it goes to the user, means production is called as a user. So when we go to the production, it will, the same code is not working in there. So why? These are the common deployment problems. And understanding DevOps means what exactly the DevOps, why this comes into the picture when you're having this kind of issues, and the principles and best practices and roadmap to the DevOps career. And as I said, the DevOps engineers, for us, we should have Linux and terminals are the most important tools for us, because if we are using the AWS mainly works on totally in Linux servers only. So we mainly use, means depends, they may have other servers also where the Azure, the Google Cloud, these are all just whatever the engineer may be, the DevOps engineers mainly works on the Linux and terminal commands. These are the very important tools. So before going further, I will be explaining about the MVP. What is a MVP? What exactly? And then we'll go one by one into the structure of to DevOps. Okay. Okay. See, at least when I say okay, please say okay, because at least I will be
Yes,
understanding that
okay.
you. Okay. Let me.
Sure.
See, I will share the PPT after some time because it needs to be have some slides. I will add and I will provide you end of the day. But just consider that this is the MVP product. What exactly is that? So I will explain why is MVP is a need of the hour. So now consider that, see, development of every product, like as I said, development of every product starts with the critical considerations of cost, time, and scope. These are all the main two things where you want to have a cost and what the hell? Cost, time, and scope. So these are all the three things where you, if you are developing a product, and these are the three things which you need to consider. So suppose if you are an entrepreneur where you have an idea, and you want to introduce a product into the market. I'm just giving you an example. Now consider that you have a social media platform. You want to create a social media platform where it is a digital platform where you want to have a create a profile. You can chat with one by other, and you want to like their photos, means what are they upload the images, and you want to have a video chat, and you want to upload the videos. So this is the idea you have in your mind, and you want to introduce it into the market. Now the thing is that you first did a survey by yourself. First point, you did a initial survey, and you started working on the product. And for the product from the scratch to end product, it takes nearly a year for you to totally build the product and to introduce into the market. In a 1 year span of time, the market may change. Some may have the same idea, and the other people would have been introduced in the market before you yourself. Because see, the idea is that until you have it came to the market and you have the patent rights, so anyone can use it. So that way, this total product from the scratch to end product, so these it will take nearly 1 year. So if you done the total scratch and you build the product, and consider that no one has introduced into the market, and you have introduced it into to the market the product. Now once you have introduced, the user starts giving the feedback that I'm not liking this way of creating the profile. I'm not liking the chat box. I may not liking the video uploading option because we don't have that much bandwidth, and I'm also not liking the like button because it's not like that good. So the feedback is coming is in a way that this is not good. The product which you have given is not at all good, because we are not having satisfied with the product which you are providing. So this is one way of approach where you introduce. Now consider that we go with a different approach where you introduce the product with minimum features. First, you have started creating only with a profile creation of the product. First, when it came into the market, it was only just creates the profile. You will be able to just create a profile, and after that, you will be able to upload the images. These are all only two features you have introduced into the market. So once it gone into the minimum features you have introduced into the product, and the user started using it, and he gives the feedback. So these all two are good. I want one more future where I can chat with any other person. So then you will work on that iteration, and you will start introducing a third feature into the same product, saying that okay, now we are giving the chat box where you can chat with other people. So after some time, again we will take the feedback from the user, that they say that okay, now it's good, now I want to upload images. So we take that consideration, and again we introduce a fourth feature, so that we will providing an image option where they are uploading it. Now the user asks, I want to have a like button. So then we will provide you the other feature, fifth feature. And again in the sixth iteration, we will he says that okay, now it's good, now I want to video chat with the other person. So again we will introduce a new iteration into new feature into the market. The same way we are taking the feedback of the user, and we are providing it. So as I said, there are two approaches. First approach, you have introduced with all your features into the market directly, and where we taken the final feedback after the final product has been arrived into the market, and we are facing the issues because the targeted customers where we are having, they are not liking our product. And the different approach was where we launched the product with only minimum features, where we need to, and with our core idea, where our core idea was to have a social media platform where digital, where the people can talk and can chat and can upload the images and just like it. So with that, we every time we are adding on features to that product by taking the feedbacks in a multiple iterations, one by one, every 2 months, 3 months, that way. So now consider that which one is called MVP, whether the first approach or the second approach.
The second approach, Ashok.
Yeah, that's right. See, this is called a minimum viable product, where you introduce the features with only minimum features into the market, and based on the customer feedback. See, there are two different things. Survey is totally different, and customer feedback is totally different. Survey, the we do the survey with the initial survey where we are not giving the product to the user. We are just taking the survey from them, that what they wanted. But once they started using the product, they are giving the feedback, which is very crucial, because how the product is there and how they are liking the product. So these are the two approaches. So the second approach is called MVP. So this is the MVP. Wait, see, as I mentioned, MVP is a product. It launched with the features that are sufficient to implement your core idea. Because this way, with the aim of MVP, we can test our hypothesis, means how actually in the market our product is working it, and whether they are liking it or not, how they are using it. So this way, where is that you can take the customer feedback continuously, and it helps you to save your money. Because see, not like that you have developed a product from, was a total full product and you have provided and no one is using it. So there is no point of wasting your time and your money and you the investors money and everything. So that is the other product where you consider that how you want to use it. See, as I mentioned, everything here is simply the same concept where I've just provided in the material. It will according to customer's requirement. Including customer feedback will help you develop a culture product. The people who are fans of your product eagerly wait for the updates and promote the product. See, if you like any product, you will obviously, with the word of your mouth, you will mention that okay, this product is good. You can start using it, man. Like that way, we continuously provide our way of word of mouth to other people, that if we like anything. So this way, see, now as you know that Amazon first started as a book book online book market. They don't have all the products in the first place. Netflix started as a DVD company. They didn't have the total OTT before. So that way these are all started. And the Facebook, it was just a creation of profiles and upload of images in the starting phase. Now how much they evolved. See, these are all the products which started as a MVP, means they first implemented their core idea into the customer feedback. See, when we first started using Facebook, we used to say that okay, you have a profile in Facebook, you don't have profile, start creating it. So that way you may have all the ideas how they implemented their core idea into the market with the starting with the simple features, and they evolved right now. Now in the Facebook you can give the ads also. So that way we have evolved. So that's called MVP. What exactly it does is that it helps you focus on your core idea, early market entry, testing opportunity, continuously getting updates from the customer feedback, less resource and time wastage, learn, build, measure. So that way you introduce the product into the market with the minimum features. This is called MVP. So if you have any questions, just ask. Any doubts, or maybe if you have understood everything and why MVP is needed, I have explained. If you have any doubts, just please.
The main idea of MVP is to test the hypothesis, not to implement directly.
Yes, as I said, to implement your core idea, I mean, suppose, as I said, as mentioned, you have an idea with you, and I just given you example of Facebook only, because when they first started, they just they there was only one option where you have to create your profiles, and they used to uh, provide upload the images. That was the Facebook which I have used maybe in 2013 12. That was the way the Facebook was there before. Now, as you see that you can upload the videos, you can share your photos, you can chat with anyone, you can provide you can give your ads. If you have a business, you can upload your business along with the videos, and you can to reach the customers from their Facebook, you can give your ads, and you can boost your ads. So this way the Facebook evolved from where to this generation, to this much way they have evolved from their self. So with the basic idea they started this product, and now they are a giants in the industry. So that way the MVP works, because it makes you an entry. Along with the Facebook, at that time there was a Orkut. If you people remember it. So at that time it was the same thing, where you have to create a profile and you can start with anything. But now right now the Orkut is not at all there in the industry. It got gone because they didn't have that continuous feedbacks from the customers, and how they taken the feedbacks, and they have not updated to the technologies. So they have gone out of the market. Now Facebook works out because they started believing the product, and they started taking the customer feedback very seriously, and they started working on it. Now they are the biggest industry giants, which they have the more control on the data from the Facebook profiles, because the Facebook has the WhatsApp and the Instagram too. So this way they evolved the industry from their themselves, because with simple idea they came into the market and they started working on it.
One question, Ashok, is MVP really reliable in the current market? Because when Facebook was in the picture, it had no other competitors. As you mentioned, there was only one Orkut which was competing with Facebook, which could not have a regular feedback, take regular feedback with the customer, so it could not sustain in the market. Only Facebook sustained. But if you take a current scenario, there are many competitors in the market, wherein each company has to compete with many other multiple
Yeah.
competitors in the market. So
Yes. Yes,
if one company starts taking every time it launches a product, and it's based on the customer's feedback, it improves its product, what about the competition it has to face?
yes.
Will
That
it
is
really
the
survive in the market if it every time it goes to the customer and takes the feedback and again keeps on improving? It will really, can it really sustain the market when it approaches through the MVP methodology?
See, MVP is not a methodology. First thing, it's just that you introduce the market product into the market uh, before anyone does. See, as I said, you have your own ideas. See, there may be many of ideas. So just let me give you another slide. So now see, this is why exactly I want to talk about it. So that was the reason I asked to ask your questions. See, it's like an experiment where you helps you know whether the people like your product or not. And the thing is that, see, as I mentioned, if you with all your resources, you have built the product, and you introduce into the market, and the people didn't like it at all, means whatever you have done, whatever how much you have brought the new features and everything you have done, but people didn't see. Like if you have the chatting windows, means the chat apps, there are multiple chat apps. Why WhatsApp was that much famous? Why not any other thing? There is a Signal is there, there is a Between app is there, there was Hike app was there before, and there were many apps. Why only WhatsApp got that much customers and that much data having the WhatsApp? Why? Because see, that's the thing, they started with only, first when WhatsApp started, it was just with the messaging, only the message with your phone number. They just was using it only to chat. Now they evolved more. You can upload the images, you can share your images, you can share your videos, you can do the video chat, group video call, group chats. So they started using it. That's the experiment where they did. They see, if with the minimum features you are introducing a product into the market, that will not have a huge loss. But when you do a product with a full scale, with a full time, with a fully built product, if you go into the market and if that product doesn't succeed, that will be a loss, more money waste and more time waste for everyone. But if you have started with the minimum features, and if you get that feedback in the first place itself that no, I am not liking this product, these are kind of products are already there in the market, we don't like it, you try with you adding another one more feature and just try again. And if the user says okay, I'm liking this one, now this idea is good, that's fine. If in the second iteration they say that okay, I am not liking, there are other products, just stop it. So that will be the stop, that will be the stop where they don't want to go further on that idea, they will go for with another idea. So that way it works out. That doesn't mean that you have to go with a fully built product into the market and face the losses and everything. So this way it works out, because as I said, only in the two iterations you will able to find out what needs to be changed. If you're not able to change, if you're not able to give that many features, you will just stop that product there itself, because it will not have that money, investing the money there and the time and everything. Because this is the main where the investors will push you that why we are investing this much money, but still we are not getting it. Because if you have fully developed a product and it released into the market, there maybe have a full proof of full problems, because you have invested a lot of money and lot of your time and resources. So I consider, if a single product has to released in the market, it is not like that it will be done in a day. It takes time period, because they do the initial surveys first. They take the customers, okay, how the mentality is there, and they start, if their idea works on that, so that's the reason they start, just give a core idea, this is my product, just try, see, use it, and if you like it, just let us know. That's a user feedback. If they like it and they will suggest you some more things, you will just add it and you will give it to the mark. Second iteration, and the iteration they say that okay, I'm liking it, can you add three more features? So again you start using it. So in the way you are building the product slowly, slowly, slowly. But if you taken the customer survey in the first place and you have built a full product and went into the market, in the first place you have tried for 6 months, and in the end it's no use, because the customer is not liking the product at all. They were asking more features, but again you have to go back and you have to build the product from the scratch again, because you have to do everything. That way it works out. See, if you see here, he just given an example. The Henry Kinberg is the person who actually mentioned how the MVP needs to be built. See, suppose if you want to build a minimum viable product, if you give just one tire, what the user will do? There is no point of using one tire, right? And say you introduced one product, just one tire into the market and saying that okay, just use it. No, if he wants to travel somewhere with the one tire, he can't go. And he say again, you just given a flat tire, just like in the image, he just provided two tires with this just a stick and saying that okay, just use it. No. And again, in the third iteration, you are just mentioned the everything. No, that doesn't work. How the minimal viable product likes this? See, first you have given as roller skaters, the skateboard. The skateboard people started liking it. So just in the skateboard, they just mentioned a cycling skate, where you can with the support you can go on, and after that the cycle came into the picture, where you can start using the cycle. Now people wants to don't want to cycle, so they introduce the bike. And after the bike they thought okay, only people will have to go, we need more people, so they introduced the car. So that way you have to build a product, because it's a product means not like that you just have to keep only one thing into the picture and ask them, okay, just start doing it. This doesn't work like that, because this is, as I said here, it has been clearly mentioned, it is a lower quality than the original software, just the version enough to implement your core functionality or your core idea. I think I have answered your question.
Yes, yes, Ashok. Yes.
Yeah, now I will explain three things here. They are proof of concept, prototype, MVP. So these are totally three different things. Proof of concept is that where you have a piece of code, you test it in the technology, maybe like this scientists, R&D people, where they try on it evidently and experiment on a project and demonstrate the design and concept business, which is feasible. So that's a proof of concept. Prototype is that a skeleton version, where before introducing into the market, you provide to the stakeholders for the internal review, so that they can have the feel and the look of the application. MVP is a ready to launch version of the product. It will be not rolled back until with a new iteration, because you will be taking the customer feedback for every time. So if you have it, see in the slide, it's clearly mentioned everything clearly. So if you just check on it, means once I share it, means you can see, if you are able to see it. Also, you can have any doubts, you can just ask me.
Yeah, okay, okay, sure. Kindly share it.
Okay, no more questions.
I think you can carry on. No more, no. Yes.
Okay, now let's come into the picture of software development lifecycle. Why SDLC is the thing we need to understand. See, the SDLC is a software development lifecycle, where it's a defined process for a software development process that ensures timely delivery of the software into the market with the budget constraints. So the thing is that suppose, as I mentioned, you have done a survey, and first you send a sales team or maybe marketing team, and takes a customer survey, says that okay, in this market right now, this product needs to be implemented. So they start doing that requirement gathering. So for this product to be installed into the market, what kind of things we need to be have? So they start that requirement gathering, and with that requirements, they started, okay, this should be the design of the product. So they design it, and they implement that product, means they develop the product, and they will test it. They test the product, and they will implement the, means deploy the product into the market. And once it is deployed into the market, they will start taking the issues, means the what are all the issues you are coming. Now consider that, now let's take an example of Amazon. So once you buy a product, so you didn't like it, so you directly go to the Amazon and chat and tell them that I'm not able to understand because I'm not liking this product, I just want a replacement. So that's kind of maintenance, means you are going in a cyclic process. You are liking the product, you are taking it, you didn't like it, you are going back to them and you are telling them, okay, I'm not liking this product, just give me another one. So that way, that's a maintenance kind of it, where you are having it. So here it has been mentioned, a product idea is conceived, mock-up is built, technicalities analysis, design on the base, developer starts coding on it, application tested and deployed, and it has been monitored and maintained. So now, why SDLC is needed? SDLC is that if you have to develop a product into the market, means now we considering it as software. So as a software has to be deployed into the market. So first they do is that they will do all the requirements, means what exactly the client needs. So they will start taking the requirements, and from the requirements, the design team will design the requirements how exactly it should look into the market. Means if you are providing an UI, means the Amazon UI and everything, like if the big billion sale day, or maybe great Amazon Great India Festival. For these festivals, they will start, okay, they will see the market, okay, how it is working it right now. So what kind of sale if we give, it will work out, and how should at that time, how the UI should work it out, and how many times of people will be able to log into it and they want to use it. So they will design it, and it will be implemented. First they will test in there itself, and they will be testing after the implementation. They will be testing the product from their internal side, and they will deploy it into the production. So in the software, in the IT terms, there will be three things. Before I'm going to further, I just mentioned there is dev, QA, production. Dev is that it will be for the internal, where the developers will be working on the dev side, where they will be developing the code. They will be doing all the coding part in the dev. QA is that before going into the production, means before going into the market, they will have a user testing, means the investors who have invested the money and the core investors team which are having, they will test this same product into the QA, means how it looks like, on how the looks are, how the product works on, they'll test in the QA. And once they approve it, then the product will be released into the production, where the actual customer started using the product. This is called dev, QA, prod. So this will be the terms we will be using more in going further. So I'm just giving you what exactly the dev, QA, and prod. So if it is a prod, means that it is directly with the customers, the real customers where they are using the product. QA means it will be to the internal team, where internal shareholders, where they will be using the product, and they will be seeing before the customer seeing the product. So if they like it and they feel that okay, this way may work out, so then they will move to the prod. And dev is that to your internal system, to your own, where you start working on it. You will be doing the coding, there will be bugs, and you will start fixing them again. It's just kind of your own system where you will be doing everything. And once it is done and it is perfectly working, then you will move to the QA with the proper approvals. This is dev, QA, and prod. So further, I'm going further, I'm just giving you an example, telling you all these things, because we will be using a lot of terms going further. So now SDLC is that, why SDLC is needed. SDLC ensures that a proper planning is to be maintained, and what exactly the investors and maybe the management want to achieve the end result. And every team, means like as I mentioned, for every team, requirement gathering, design, implement, test. So there will be different kind of teams for them. So everyone has to take their own ownership throughout the process. Means once the requirement gathering is done, they'll start. It goes to the design team. They have to take their ownership, and next it goes to the deploy implementation of the internal only. So they have to take the ownership, and the testing they have to take, and after that the production they have to take the ownership. So this way it helps to deliver the highest quality of the software, keeping the track of cost and time. So this is the SDLC, where you design, implement, test, again evaluate, do the analysis, again design, again implement. It's a cyclic process, where you just do the analysis, you design the product, you will implement, again you test it, and again you evaluate. And we will be discussing two type of methodologies in SDLC. One is waterfall, and one is agile. I will explain further what is at waterfall and what is agile. So if you have any doubts about the SDLC, just let me know.
No doubts, such also.
Yeah, it's clear, Ashok.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let me. Yeah, yes.
Like there is an like NDR Infotech has informed that to record the session. This is not the doubt, but then I got a call from NDR.
Yeah, yeah, I'm already recording it. I'm
Oh,
not
okay,
sure. Yeah, it is there. No issues.
okay. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no issues, no issues. Okay, now we will be see there are multiple methodologies in the industry for the software development lifecycle, but we'll be discussing mainly the two things where people use a lot of these technologies in the methodologies in the market. One is waterfall, another one is agile. So what is waterfall methodology? So waterfall methodology is that it's a linear sequential model, means where each phase starts only the previous phase completes. It will not start. See, now if you see this requirement gathering, system design, implementation, the same thing. The system design will not start until the requirement gathering is done. and the implementation will not start until the system design is completed, and the testing will not be started until the implementation is not completed. So it is not like that it's a one it gets complete, the other will start. It's not like that it's a parallel sequence where the requirement gathering is going on, the system design is no. First the requirement has to be taken fully and it is been completed, then it goes to system design. See, it's the phase where once taken everything, the product will be delivered in a single go. Means first the requirement gathering, it's completed, then go to system design, again implementation, again after the testing, deployment, monitoring and maintenance. Once it is goes, the product will be delivered in a single go. Means will be having the proper documentation of the software and a lot of checklists, because after requirement design they will be checking what are the requirements they have been taken. Okay, these are all the requirements, okay, this needs to be go on. Then the requirements will be given to the design team, they will start working on the design, and once the designs all everything is completed, it goes to the implementation where the developers start writing the code for it, and he starts implementing his own in the system, and it goes to the QA where they start testing the same thing. Means see, what the problem in this waterfall methodology is that if you have any issues at some stage of the point, you can't go back to the old phase. Means suppose in the requirement gathering you have given and you have given to the design team, the design team feels that okay, this product, this design will not be possible with this kind of a requirement, but they can't go back to the requirement gathering team and tell them that see, this design will not be possible with this requirement, it's not possible. So if they have to change, they have to take a lot of approvals. So for every phase if you have to go back, the change is a kind of more difficult. So this is a waterfall methodology where some companies, means in the market, I'm not be saying that every company is not using it. Still, some companies use it where they are very sure what they exactly needed and what they don't have to change anything. Means it's a single like consider that if a product for fixed projects where they have a 6 months timeline, they will give the requirements gathering and the design and say that I need to be done and this dusted by 6 months. So they have taken the requirements and they're pretty sure that they don't want to change the design at all. So the design team have to work out and they have to give that. And once the design done, the coding team has to done the coding according to that design. They have to build the product according to their design, whatever may be the issues they have to build it. And if they have see the drawbacks and anything, they don't care, they have to build it. And the testing team feels that okay, I am not be able to test, but still they have to do that because they are pretty sure that I need this product end of the day. I don't want to change anything. The way the product is there, I want to be like that only. So this is waterfall methodology where every product, every phase starts in the previous phase got completed. So this is the way where we will be working on it. This is a waterfall methodology where still companies, means where they have fixed project, fixed budgets, where they know what exactly they need of the product, so they will take it out. So it's just the same thing, it has been mentioned here also. Old traditional institute drawback of this method is there is change in requirements. See, as I mentioned, the drawback is that if there is a change in the requirements at any phase of development, moving back to the previous phase is difficult because it involves a lot of cost. Because it's not like that requirements has done and you have given to the system design team says no, it's not good, change the requirement. They have to go back and that doesn't work. Once it has been done from the requirement gathering, it is done, they don't again come into the design team. The design team has to done it. This is actually very old and a traditional methodology where it was used in the construction and manufacturing projects before. So here, I think I have given an example about the car production line. But this mainly works in the manufacturing and construction projects, but not in the software industry. But for the software industry, means as I said, if they are very particular and what exactly they want that the product, they will be going for with this waterfall methodology. Now we will be talking about the other methodology, Agile. So before going, you have any questions on the waterfall?
No, no questions.
Okay, now see. The waterfall is that a sequential, right? Linear sequential. The agile is a cyclic process. It's a just the same thing where you will be just in a cyclic process. So it's a kind of a umbrella for many modern methodologies right now we are using. Will be focusing on the iterations and the incremental, where you will plan, means the requirements you will be taking, you will design, you will be deploying, review, test, develop. Means, see, if they feel that okay, this requirement is not good and it needs to be changed back, it will be going back because it will be coming in again in a cyclic process. So it will be plan, design, develop, test, deploy, review, launch. Again, the same thing, means in the first iteration. And in the agile, mainly will be talking about the Scrum. Scrum is one of the more used methodology in the agile, because this is the Scrum development process is used in many IT companies. And right now agile methodology is the agile framework is the one where every industry is using it, and every industry is following it right now. Every IT company uses this agile framework, where they take a requirement, they design it, they develop, test, deploy, review, and if they feels that this they have having some issues, they will modify that requirement. Again, they will provide it. Again, they will design it. So it will be just like a within with a single Scrum process, means where every Scrum thing is that only for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. Means in a single week you will be able to design, develop, test, and deploy it into the market. So within a single week you will be able to do all these things. Means there will be a lot of people involved in a simple product working on it. As I said, Scrum development process. See, this is a 30-day sprint where they are mentioning. They will first take the product, they will work on it, and they will start working on it again, where they launch the product within a multiple iterations in a 30 days cycles. 30 days called sprints. The sprint and everything going further, means when we talk about the Git web version, okay, Git control. Maybe in the Git control, I will be explaining more on the Scrum process, because where you will be having this how exactly the product works on, means what exactly the design is that. So that way, it will be more of a team where you will be having more understanding. But as I said, right now, all the IT companies are using Agile framework. This methodology is the main thing where people mainly working on it. As I mentioned, this is a cyclic process where you will plan, design, develop, test, deploy, review. Again, if they want to change something, they will again do the reverse. Means the same product which gone into the market will be again uh, designed with some modifications. Again, they will design it and again they develop it. Let me give you just about the Scrum. S- Scrum is that a small functional team work together just to produce a software in multiple short iterations. Means around like they have mentioned in the picture, like a 30-day sprint. They first start with the product backlog. The product backlog is that a list of items needs to be done and to develop the product. And after that, for every sprint, means as I mentioned, that's they mentioned it as a sprint, where certain items are pulled from the product backlog. Means suppose they want to doesn't want to work on that, so they mentioned a sprint backlog. So means suppose in the sprint backlog they thought that if one requirement needs may take more than 1 month. So what they do is that they will keep it, because they will first push the requirements which are very easy and very easy to go into the market within 30 days. So that way they will be providing this product and they will be mentioning it. So that's sprint backlog. And after that, again, they will be developing it, will be testing it, and you will be deploying it, and you will be providing the review, and you will be pushing into the market. And for everything is that there will be a scrum master, where every day he'll be taking all the details. Means whatever you have done, means it's a 15-minute call. All the team will be joined, where there will be the product owner, means who is the owner of the product, means who is going to take care of the product when it goes to market, who actually invested the money. So you'll be the product owner, the scrum master, who is actually taking the tasks and every details of the team members and about the users and the stakeholders. So they will be providing in the scrum team daily scrum meeting where they take all the requirements, means every team member, the developer, the tester, and everyone should be able to give each and every task what they have done in the past year and now what they are going to do. If they face any issue in that process, means when they are developing the code, they're facing the problem. When they're doing testing, they have to face the problem, so they have to update in that call. So that way they will uh, make the assessments and they will work on it, so that it needs to be done and dusted within that sprint cycle. uh, any doubts on this scrum and agile process?
Ashok, Scrum development process comes under Agile framework, is it?
Yes, yes. See, in Agile, there will be more like a Kanban systems and Scrum and Excel methods. The Scrum is one kind of a development process in Agile framework.
Okay.
Ashok, is this agile method is it a continuous process
Yes,
even though it is in production?
yes, continuous process. It's as I mentioned, in every sprint, some or the other requirements will be released into the market for everything production. See, they take like a see, I'm giving just give an example. We have a 3 week sprint for us. I'm just giving my example where first they will be giving in 3 week sprint, means once the 3 week sprint is done, so whatever the requirements have been done by the end of the 3 week sprint, that will be released to the market. And again the next 3 week sprint, means this has been done, means that like suppose in the 21 days, uh, 21 days, remove the 6 days, so 15 days. So 15th day, whatever we have done, we have to stop on that, whatever the 15 days. So after that, from the again for the next 16 day, means again for the new sprint cycle, the new requirements will be started working on it. It's not like that in the 15 days it has been done, we can get a 2 or 3 days time, means like as I mentioned, the waterfall requirement gathering team has been done and they don't have any work. It's not like that. After 15th day, the from 16th the requirement team will be working on it, we have to start working on the other things. So it's a continuous cyclic process where you will plan, you will design, you will develop, test. The same process will be working continuously. It will not stop at any point. So the requirements will be coming, you will be designing, you will be developing, you will be testing, again it will be deployed, it will be reviewed, and it will launch. Again the same thing goes on. It's a cyclic process totally.
Okay, thank you. Ashok.
As I mentioned, many IT companies are right now using, and on this agile, you have more certifications also. Means PS1, like these are agile certifications where you will get the Scrum Master certification. If you are a Scrum Master, you are the head of that Scrum calls, where you take the what are all the tasks you have by the developers or testers have been doing on. So there are many things. If you want, you can just search on the Google itself about the Scrum and everything agile. You will get a lot of uh, materials and everything.
Mm.
So the need of the hour was agile, because many IT companies, I am sure 90% of the companies uses agile right now, agile framework. Only some particular companies where they have a fixed budget and they don't want to change the requirements, they are using the waterfall methodology, but maximum companies are using agile.
Okay,
You
thank
have
you,
to,
Ashok.
agile process is that you have to be more active and you have to be more agile, where you start taking the requirements. If you it's like that in a train where you are going continuously, you don't have to stop at all, because it's not like that you have the space time, means you have the time you can be cool and develop it. No, you have to be very fast and you have to be very quick to done your task. You have to, because it's like that where they will give some user tasks. The task should be completed within like if you see, suppose a user story has been given to a developer, and he mentions that it is a 8 point story or maybe 5 points. It will be divided like this, means as I mentioned, there will be a lot of scrum differences, like one story point, two story points, three, five, eight. These all means five, means within 5 days that story has to be completed. five story points means in that five story points you have to consider the development, you have to consider the testing, and you have to consider the deployment too. So within 5 days you have to the requirement will be given in that time phase only. So it needs to design, it needs to be developed, it needs to be tested, and it needs to be deployed within 5 days. So that way the five user story points will be done for that single requirement. So that goes for many, like it goes to 18, 13. So it depends on how you are actually working on that methodologies.
But it is in, if it is in the production, there is no time limit, no, for that.
No, no, production, as I said, for everything, the requirement will be modified, right? So once it has been moved, if they want to change it, the same requirement will be then they will make the changes in that requirement and they will give it to you again. It's not like that in the production you can't change anything. It's in the production they will take that requirement and they will modify it. That's the reason they call it as product backlog, where they are changing the product and changing the requirement according to the user customization, or maybe according to their likes. So again, it goes into the goes into the design team and develop and test. It is in the production. See, now you consider it. You are using some UI or something else, whatever it may be. You are using a product, and it is in the product, and you feel that you need to have some very good aesthetic look of that UI. So you mention a feedback. So that feedback will be taken by the design team, requirements gathering team. They will see that okay, they it's a many more days they have to change the requirement. So they will take that feedback and they will design, they will provide it as a requirement to the design team. They will design that change and they will provide it to the development team, means that coding team. They will code according to it and they will give it to the testing team. The testing team will do it and they test it and they say that okay, this is fine. They will deploy it into the market. They will review the internal teams and they will launch again. So just the thing is that it's a cyclic process where it goes continuously. There is no stop for this.
Okay.
Any more questions? As I'm saying, agile is the one where the industries are using. Many companies, means 90% all IT companies use this agile framework. The not the Scrum. There may be many more in the agile. Like let me show you. See, See, Scrum, Kanban, Extreme Programming, Lean Development. See, these are all the different types of agile methodologies. Now we are talking about Scrum. Kanban is there, and Extreme Programming is there, where they will be mentioned about the Extreme Programming is that like with the T-shirt sizes like that, XL, L, M, S, like that way. The Extreme Programming. The Kanban is that where how it be mentioned. With the story points with the days kind of something, because I usually work on the scrum, so I have more idea on the scrum. So these are all the type of methodologies which will be used, but these agile things are the one into the industry right now. They are using it. It depends on the company how they are using it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Abhishek. I cleared a lot of things based on this.
Okay, let's take a 5 minutes break. Maybe you can have a sip of water. I need to have a sip of water first.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you have any doubts, let me know. In the meanwhile, let me just keep the PPTs. Means if you want to read out something you want to do.
Uh, can I put on presentation mode? This one?
Sorry,
Presentation mode.
I'm sharing
I
it,
say,
right?
yeah, you are sharing. Just yeah, here there'll be a right side bottom of there'll be a,
Oh, you
like
want this
yeah,
one?
yeah, so that it will more visible to us. Yeah, thank you, Abhishek.
Okay, let us start. Okay, now we will be discussing about the common deployment issues and conflicts in teams. I mean, between the development teams, how exactly, what all the issues will be working on it. So, now considered. Now let us talk about the common deployment issues. So now we have talked about the SDLC, right? Software development lifecycle, where we have a different separate teams for everything. Like for the requirement gathering, there will be a requirement team. For the designing, there will be a design team. For the development, there will be a coding team. For the testing, there will be the testers, and for again reviewing it for the internal team. So these are the SDLC phase, right? So the main crucial phase of software development cycle is the deployment phase, where once you deploy into the market, there will be having any issues, whatever the if so. As I mentioned, a software works fine on the developer's machine, means on your own machine, but when it goes to the production, it gets failed, means after having all the testing and everything, but still it is failing. Many different reasons may be for that issue, but each part of that software has a specific dependencies and different environments is required to run on it. So in the different during the different SDLC phases, it should ensure that it should have a consistency in all the stages of that environment. Suppose now consider that you have someone asked you to as I mentioned, let's take an example where they were asked to what should be a chat box, a chat window. So you have developed that, and it is working very perfectly fine on your machine. And so then you have given it to the testing team. They have done it on that machine, and that's fine. And once again it went to the review team, and they also reviewed, and it is also working fine, and they pushed it. So once it went to the production, it is not working. What may be the reason? Means because there may be a lot of reasons, but now consider that I'm just giving an example. Suppose the user tested it on the Windows server, but when it moved to the production, it is a Linux server. It is not working according to that because they have not coded according to the Linux servers. They are coded according to the Windows phone. Or maybe in an Android phone, the chat is working perfectly fine, but when it comes to the iPhone, it is not working on it. So these may be many more reasons where once you have deployed it, it is you have to make sure that you have to code according to all the environments. Means for every consistency should be there for all the environments in that particular stage. Means if you are developing the code should work for all the environments. It may be the Windows, it may be the Linux, it may be any other. It should work for all the servers. That way the common deployment issues comes into the picture, where you don't have anything in your mind, but the development will team say the code is working perfectly fine in my environment. The operations team will say no, it is not working in the production environment. Because see, as I mentioned, they have developed the code in the Windows, but they are deployed in Linux. So they are totally two different things, because they are correct in their way, and they are also correct in their way, because it's totally two different things. But they are not able to figure out why exactly the issue is causing this. Arises the conflicts between the developments and the operations team. You got my point, right? So why exactly the issues comes into the picture? Means as I mentioned, this may be I'm just giving an example. There may be a lot of things where you have considered. Means there is no plan B, because once they have been developed and deployed into the production, they don't have any other, means they don't have any backup. So they directly deployed into the production, they don't have that, all the data has been lost. There is no plan B, and someone just pushed a code which doesn't work at all, because the testing team also not perfectly worked on it. Are you guys with me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, Ashok, continue.
Yeah, okay. To say yes or no at least because I will be feeling that I'm talking to myself.
No, we not deep in your
Yeah, that's fine. But still, say yes or no because
because right now most my project is in production. We are facing whatever the things you are explaining. That is matching with my things actually.
yeah, that's good. It is with every company. It's not with every with your, but it's with everyone because it happens. Because as I mentioned, this is the need where, as I mentioned, every organization is becoming more agile. They want to leverage the developers so that they satisfy the customer needs. So where, as I mentioned, so every time when the code is pushed means the developers means that investors are asking, the stakeholders are asking, I need this thing to be done in the new future, needs to be pushed to the production environment. The developer will code and he gives to the operations team. The operations team will say, no, now the product is very stable, why you want to push this code into the market? So the continuous development and the continuous deployment makes the production unstable, because it may work, it may not work it, because not every time has to keep up, because the operation team has to keep the production very much stable, because it's already in the production, it's a working environment. The users are currently working right directly on the environment. And if they do something, means some checklist gets missed, or maybe something ensures not wrong, and the production environment goes unstable, means it slows down the deployment, means they says that, okay, you have provided me the code, but this is a wrong code. So that's the agility where they want to have a continuous deployment and continuous integrations, where they want to have the development and operations team to work together, where they can push the code continuously, where they can work on it, means continuous deployment and continuous integration, where continuous developments, they the developers are developing the code and the operations team are pushing it to the production, where but the environment is working perfectly fine, means once they push the code and the coding that production is not working, not that kind of way, they want to work it very smoothly and very calmly. So in this picture, to not to have any conflicts, we have the DevOps, where the dev plus operations team work together, and where they can be resolve the conflicts, having to define it. So as I mentioned, DevOps is not a tool or a technology, it's a principle, where it encourages the collaborations between the developer and the operations team, where the follows the automation, and the main aim of the DevOps was engineer or the DevOps practices is to promote the culture of learning and collaboration across teams. This is mainly the DevOps, where you will mainly focus on automation, and their main aim is to promote culture of learning and collaboration across teams, where you will be the middle person, where you will be the one who is actually handling everything along with the development and along with the operations. So this is called DevOps. If you have any doubt, just let me know. I will go further.
No doubt you can proceed.
Okay, just give me a minute. I just need to. Okay. Have you ever tried typing DevOps on the Google search and seeing what exactly it comes? Have you ever tried? Means I'm just asking you. It's just simple yes or no.
Uh,
No, Ashok. Actually, we hear that DevOps and right now some of the topics we heard that like Docker, Kubernetes, Git.
See that those are tools. Means those are all the tools where makes your life easier as a DevOps engineer. Means it's a as I mentioned, DevOps is a principle where you will be promoting the culture of learning and collaboration across teams. It's a kind of a methodology where it ensures close collaboration. It breaks the virtual wall, means whatever the wall is between the operations and the development team. Okay, see, you can do just a simple Google search because this is a DevOps. See, uh, I'm just showing you because so that I will just explain it because I don't have to provide a very big speech because it's just the same thing because how exactly it works on. So now here, if you see the same thing, combination of cultural philosophy, practice, and tools that increase the organizational ability to develop application service at high velocity. So the same thing. So now going further, what exactly we will be working, hearing it up it is that more on the CI/CD pipelines, as I mentioned, the continuous integration, the continuous development or deployment, where the development team is developing the code and the deployment team is deploying it, and the DevOps person is the one who actually makes sure that the code is developed and he provides automation scripts where it goes perfectly so that the code which has been developed can go into perfectly thing. And the continuous integration is that where we use the Jenkins and the code repositories like GitHub, where we can keep it as in a centralized server where you can be start working on it, where you can take directly the code from the centralized system and you can start working on that. So there are three principles of DevOps. One is the systems thinking, amplifying feedbacks, and culture of continual experimentation and learning. These are the three principles of DevOps. If any organization wants to implement DevOps, they need to consider these three things. What is that? Systems thinking. Let me write it. System thinking, amplifying feedback loops. Sorry, amplifying feedback loops, and the other one was culture of continual experimentation and learning. This experimentation, I don't want to write the full word. Okay, let me do it. So, what is systems? This is systems thinking. Okay, what is system thinking? This is the how the system thinks and how the system performs rather than response. Means the emphasis is on the performance of the whole systems rather than its part. Means how the systems think. Means how exactly what are the systems you're using, the Windows or maybe the Linux and Unix. What are the Azure? The three systems which are using that how the systems think, how they work on it, and amplifying feedback loops where if the some code is broken it should return to dev as soon as possible and issues should be resolved at the earliest as possible so that it should not have any issue. And culture of continual experimentation is create a culture where you have enough encourage the risk taking, no, encourage the risk taking and learning, so that where people have if these three, if any organization wants to introduce DevOps into their company, these three needs to be considered. So what's the how the systems think, and continuous feedback loops, and continuous culture of continual experimentation and learning. Any doubts?
So please repeat the culture of continual thing again. I didn't get it.
Culture means that you create a culture where you encourage the risk taking and learning. means where means if you feel that okay, this is the way you have to do this, means suppose in the Linux environment you have to work on this, you want to have a different kind of tool, you want to use it, so that way you ask them to take that risk, means start learning it and start implementing it. So you will not be directly implementing in the production, right? You will be taking it in the development, but you will be taking that risk, means creating a culture where you can be encouraging them to take that risk and start learning on it, and you take that risk, take that new tool and start. See, before DevOps there was not that many tools we have to use. There were many tools we use in DevOps. uh, Let me, yeah, okay. So before that, see, there was no Docker before, there was no Jenkins before, there was no Git and GitHub, there was no Kubernetes before, there was no Kubernetes before, there was no Terraform before, there was no Ansible before, there was no Maven before. So these are all the tools which may you started using it and you taken the risk. Okay, start using this kind of tool. See, before DevOps, we didn't have this many tools where we have to use it, because we normally people have not that much have knowledge on these tools. But when they started using DevOps, they started using these tools because they came to know these tools makes the life easier. And but they have taken that risk. Okay, we'll start using it. See, if you want to have a new thing, you will obviously consider that okay, this tool needs to be used so that it makes a life easier. So these are all. And for the monitoring, or maybe the this one, Grafana, Prometheus. See, this the just thing is that you can just do it search, just a simple Google search, you will get a lot of commands and everything here. Why exactly these things has to be considered? So these are all the tools which we use for everything. Now this Git and GitHub is called a version control system. I'm just giving the key DevOps practices in industry, means they don't call it as Git and these things as a just directly with the name. They mentioned as a version control system. And CI/CD pipelines. Jenkins and Ansible is called CI/CD. Docker and Kubernetes is called containerization. Containerization and Kubernetes is also called as containerization. Actually, this is called as orchestration, means it is the same thing as a containerization only. And continuous monitoring, see, infrastructure as a code, Terraform as a code, Ansible, Grafana and Prometheus, continuous monitoring. See, these are all the same tools which we are using every time when we are working on it. These are all the DevOps tools. Going forward, these are all the things which we'll be using more. So this way we will be using it and we will be working on it. You have any questions on this? Means I will explain it further. Means once we go into the main part of it, why, what exactly the things we are going to use in the DevOps and what kind of tools we are going to use it, I'll explain going further.
Please continue, Ashok. Please continue.
See, I don't know whether they have given you the uh, module assignment or not. So this will be the things. So this will be the introduction to DevOps, how exactly we working on it. The second thing will be the internet and networking basics, means how the TCP IP portals are there, what the IPv4 and IPv6 are called. So how exactly the IP addresses gets the IP address names perfectly. How exactly, if you see that, if have you ever tried IP address on your command portal?
It's like EC2, MR2.
No, have you ever like have you ever tried this? Have you ever tried on your system what is IP config means?
Yeah, that.
So I see this is the things. IPv4 address, the default gateway. So have you ever know what exactly how exactly you get this IPv4 address? How you have a default gateway? What is the subnet mask? You have anytime local IPv address. Have you ever thought how exactly this comes on?
No, no.
So that will be discussed more on this programming in internet networking basis. How exactly, and the Linux and scripting is that, as I mentioned, we DevOps engineers, the Linux is the main and the most useful terminal for us. So we have to do the Linux and scripting. And the other one was Git and version control. So the Git is one of the version controls where we use Git and the GitHub, and there are Bitbucket also. There are many types of version control systems, so where we keep the code in a centralized managed system, and we do for our in your system or maybe for multiple systems where you can directly take the code from there, where maybe pull it, maybe you can merge it, or maybe you can take your code and you can merge it and you can take the multiple branches. That is a version control systems. AWS services, so we are actually as a AWS DevOps engineers, so we need to understand how exactly the AWS looks like, how exactly okay, let me show you the AWS web services. I don't know whether my account is active or not, but let me try. Okay, it is that. See, this is the AWS account where you will see how exactly it is there. If you go to the services and this AWS budgets, where is it? See, these are all the EC2 where we are going to start working on this, where we will be creating the instances. This is the dashboard. This will be the instances, how we are going to work on it. We will be creating the EC2 instances, instance types, or what instance type, how many instance types are there. This will be the network security, how many security groups, load balancing, target groups, AB load balancing, auto scaling means continuously you want to increase your servers because you are getting a lot of data and you want to increase a lot of data about auto scaling. These are all the things, and you will be having either AWS has its own database, S3 database where it is. These are all the S3 buckets and RDS. See, this is the RDS dashboard, which means relational database services, means how many kinds of databases we have, and S3 buckets where you can have it's like a version control. You can have your own AWS where you can keep it is from here itself. S3 buckets in the cloud itself where you can store it and you can keep it and you can anyone can access it. And about the route tables, route 53. This is the route 53 where this works on main. So this is AWS means we will be talking more on this, and there will be EKS, electronic Kubernetes services. This is EKS, and there will be ECS too. This is elastic container services means AWS has its own container service, and it has its own Kubernetes service also. So these are the clusters where you will be creating a cluster, the task, what the task needs to be done, how exactly it works, and the repos means if a particular project has to be done on the repos, how exactly it needs to be provided. So this is totally AWS. So we will be discussing on in this topic, and after that we will be having a small assignment, means simply kind of an automation project, where including whatever we have learned in all these four, we will be working on this assignment, means all the four modules will be have combined and be given as a project to you, so that we can work on it. And then comes the Docker. uh, that will also, I'll show you Docker Hub. This is the Docker, and this is the Docker Hub. Docker Hub is the one where you create your Docker files and keep it is in the Docker Hub, where you will have your own Docker images. Have you ever seen the Git in your system? Have you ever tried to have a GitHub?
Actually, I've tried, but I couldn't understand. Through a YouTube video, I had searched and I tried to get install the GitHub.
Just a minute. I'm just showing. If you feel any doubts, just ping me. Just tell me, because I get more carry forward when I start working on it. So come on. See, these are all my repositories which I have worked on it. Means when I was working on it. So these are all the repos you create, and these are all the things where you can take the code of your things. See how exactly the code is there, how exactly Terraform code works on, means these are all kind of things where you have, see, for AWS it is having its own code. These are all the Terraform files where once we go to the infrastructure as a code, where we will be working on it. What can I show you more? Yeah, this is one more project where I was just working on it. So this is the Git where you can keep your code, because see, I think I have my logged in. I don't know. I don't remember also. Today I have logged in, because still the code is there, because I have just kept it in the Git and it is there. And you can find multiple repo things where you want to check it out. Suppose you just keep as a DevOps and search. There will be multiple repos where you will be having it. Just a minute. This is the marketplace. Pull request. Here, if you search for the repo, this is upgrade. This is a GitHub project. Just a minute. I was actually, okay. Here it is. This is projects. Sorry guys. Here we actually, I used to get take the code from all the things, but I'm not getting it because I just don't know, because we use mainly on the Git, so I don't really find a repository. We actually, when we are going to create a new repo, so how we actually create the repo, we can do it from here, or maybe on from the Git also. So that how exactly the works on. Whether you want to have a create a public or private repo, public or private means it depends on you how you want to. So if you want to create it, just create a new repository, it will be created. That will be a public. That's it. See, your repo has been created. This is DevOps learning, and whatever you want to pull or push, and if you want to import the code, see this is the one where if you want to push it from other systems, just take this and you can have it. Or if you want to even create a new file, these are all the commands where you push it from the Git where you are using it, or maybe from the command lines like this. Or if you want to install the import a code from other things where you want to change it like this. So these are all the things where we work on it. These are all Git, about the Git version system, CI/CD about the Jenkins. I think for Jenkins the system should be there. So CI/CD with Jenkins, and with the continuous monitoring logging we are going to use the Prometheus and Grafana. We will be having a Prometheus and Grafana, where we the monitoring tools, how exactly, and about the CloudWatch, and with the Jenkins, where with the servers we are going to work it, and along with the on these three again we will be having a assignment, and after that we will be having continuous integration. How exactly means in this integration the Jenkins also comes, but we will be having just basics here, and we will be working it more on the continuous integration, continuous deployment, the Jenkins part. And in the system provisioning and configuration management we will be using more on the Terraform and Ansible, where the infrastructure as a code, and how exactly it can be worked with Ansible, and the orchestration using the Kubernetes, where as a containers you have used here the containerizations will be used in the Kubernetes using as a pods. And the final project where using maximum these tools, and what are the tools we have used up to here, everything means from the starting to end, whatever we are be using we'll be using a final project. This will be the course where we will be teaching, will be taught for the next 2 weeks, 2 months, sorry. So how exactly the tools works, and what all the tools will be. And we before starting i'll be I'll be explaining you how you can create a AWS account where without any cost, means for 1 year we it will be safe for us. But after some time, means after 6 months or 8 months, they will be starting for the budget, means see this is the AP South. So when we go to the billing dashboard, how much amount they have to pay and everything. So that I'll be taking a class in AWS where I will be mentioning how you can create that account, and you don't have to pay anything. Means that AWS gives you free for 1 year. So that way we can start working on AWS, so that for your own system you don't have to have more billing. This will be AWS. So that's the reason I say AWS is very easy, and the AWS gives you more comfort when you start working on it. So that you don't, for Azure you can't have a very free environment, you have to pay it. But for this you don't have to. For 1 year it will be free. After that if you have to pay. That's the thing in AWS, but still it works out. And just 1 minute. Yeah, sorry about that. Any questions? Don't get scared or frightened, because it's just a starting. So that I'm just showing you, because I got more kind of this thing. So that's the reason I just started showing you. This is a Docker hub where you can have your artifacts and everything in the system. See, this is a demo setup which I have done when I was doing. It's just a tool where this with the tag name. This is an image file which have been created. See, I just used a command bash and I'm just running this command. This is the just image layer where we provide it to Docker Hub, and it will be used for many more systems. Any questions? Am I audible?
Yes, Ashok.
Yeah, yes, yes. It's audible.
So if I'm saying questions, at least you should say yes or no, right? See, as I saying, it's just I'm just showing you everything because this is the way it works out. This is the way we see how exactly the things. This is the GitHub. Uh, yeah, please. If you have any questions, if you have anything, just ask me.
Uh, Ashok, like after seeing this many tools, like almost 15 tools, will I be able to learn this in the 2 months? Because like since I'm a fresher to this field.
Yeah, see, that is the reason I'm having this introduction to DevOps class where you don't need to have anything on your mind. You can easily be a DevOps engineer. You just see these things are not tools. The tools which you are going to use is this one, mainly this one, and here, and this one. These are all the mainly tools you are going to use, main tools, because see, when you start using it according to it, the Docker, Jenkins, Terraform, and Kubernetes, these things will work on easily. Means when you start working on it, it feels very easy for you because it's not like that. It's a I don't want to say any more things, but it's a very easy things which you start working on it, because see, when you start using the Jenkins and Git are the normal commands. You don't have to make your brain fade and say that, oh, these are very many more things. No, just if you start working on the Git commands are very easy commands. If you see, I've just created a code, just created a public space just right now. I just created a one. Where is it? Here. I didn't done anything, right? I just came to GitHub and just created, and it is giving me the commands what I should do it. Here. It is asking to what should I do. I just have to initiate it. I just have to add what exactly I want to add. And I want to commit. And which branch I want to commit. And if I have want to remote it, means from any other command, from any other server, I have to take it. I just have to remove. And if I want to push, this is the push. See, it is giving me everything. It's just that you have that thing how exactly it works. See, if you know how to do a Google search perfectly, you can survive in IT industry. I'm frankly saying. You just need to know how to do a search perfectly. That's it. That works for everything. You can get everything. Docker, Kubernetes. But main use is that we use mainly is that in AWS it has, as I mentioned, it has its own. Here when you start working it, you will feel very easy because this is a very good thing where you can easily create a EC2 instance. I will just show you that one also if you want. See, this is just an instance. I will just explain how to create. See, this is a instance state. Just launch instance. It will ask you how to create. Just a name. Learning. Okay. What one you want? You want Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat. What kind of server you want? We'll go with the Ubuntu. In Ubuntu, which server you want to need it? Whether you want to have a 20 version, you want to have a 22, you want to have 20.04. What kind of one? Because see, it is clearly showing these are the free type. I will take this one. And what should be the architecture? You don't have to touch this. It's very thing. Now see, this is a T2 micro. The T2 micro, what is T2 micro? See, the T2 micro is having one CPU and 1 GB memory. T2 small, one CPU, 2 GB memory. T2 medium, 2 CPU, 4 GB memory. Like this way, why, what kind of a configurations you have to check. This one. And keep pair login. This is a security group where you will create your own key pair where you want to log in. This I will explain. As I mentioned, this is a very easy thing once you go into it. It just takes, see, it is giving its own network ID, it is giving its all everything. You don't have to create. If you want to create security group, how the SSH traffic works. If you want to have all thing from one single time, and configuration stage, it's just a simple thing. You see, if I say yes, it will create just within a minute. For creating an instance in AWS just takes 30 seconds from manually. But when you go with the Terraform, it takes you 5 seconds. You will be using this Terraform AMI ID and AWS. Just a minute, let me show you that one also. See, this is a VPC. This is just a simple Terraform code. With this code, I will be able to create a VPC. Where is it? This is the one. Sorry. With this one, I will be able to create an AWS server. This is a simple code. See, I just provided required provided what is the AWS, and this is a bucket. This is very easy, but the thing is that you have to active. You have to be active, and you have that zeal that I need to learn more. If I'm just saying, just giving this one, it doesn't mean like that. You have to start working on it. You can see in the place of AWS, you can provide as Azure. It will work on Azure. Simple. This is the only difference in AWS and Azure. If you want to see, let me do that search also for you. Terraform, uh, Azure provider. This is the registry Terraform. So this will help you to which registry should be used for which one. See, simple. This is Azure RM. If you say for same hashcop AWS, it will show you everything. The same thing. Use provider. Used to tell me. See AWS. The thing is that, as I mentioned, you need to have that zeal, and you should be active. That's it. It will work out. I'm saying you. But you have to be active and you have to learn. You just have that thing. See, Google Cloud. Don't get scared. It's a very easy, and not very easy. It's easy, but you have to give your 100% if you want to survive. And in IT industry, nothing is will come in a very easy way. Even if you start learning Java, any tool, first time it will be scared, but once you get addicted to it, it will be very easy one. As I mentioned, first time it will be a huge thing, but once you start doing it, it will be very easy for you. Let me know if you have any questions.
Like, what are the programming languages that we need to learn in the beginning? Like,
See, in the beginning, you have to know Python or maybe shell scripting. These two, Python or shell scripting, these two will work out.
okay,
Python or shell scripting. See, and when we started using it according to that, you will be able to understand it. For more advanced, more complex things, you may have Python lam more functions, but once you started using it, it will be very easy. Means the shell scripting and Python, because Python is very easy and shell scripting is both are the same kind of thing. Like Java, you have to have a more kind of coding and everything, but Python is very easy compared to Java.
okay, sure.
You see, as I said, you don't have to worry about it. Once you go into it, you will be able to understand more and more, and you will be able to work on it. If you still have any questions, just let me know. Anything, as I mentioned, because we still have 8 minutes. And the roles, the thing is that we will be having DevOps engineer, DevOps architect. So with the with change of positions it will be working, but if you are starting it, it will be for you as a DevOps engineer, and there will be SRE, senior reliability engineer, where you will be working with the development people directly and sitting with them and working on it. Site reliability engineer, SRE.
Yeah. Ishwant, I'm having a not like a different thing. Uh, right now, actually, we are fresher to complete this DevOps. Okay, so how many years we need to put experience after completion of this course? What are the things mainly we need to concentrate? Can you give explanation about this?
Sorry.
Hello, am I audible, Ashok?
Yes, yes, nice, tell me.
Yeah, actually, just we need to know that how many years we need to if we want to search in the job in the DevOps actually.
Yeah, as I mentioned, see, with the experience for any tool, with the experience, the expectations will also get increased. So as I mentioned for you also yesterday, so three 3 plus 2 plus will be the very good thing when we start as a DevOps engineer, because there will be a lot of less expectations from us, so that when you start working on it, they whatever we hear we will be taught, right? So it will be work you as a go into the market, so that you will be able to work it out in the first 6 months, 1 year. So once you have that practical exposure of all the how the company exactly works, see, the teaching is totally different. Whatever you have learned it here, whatever the projects you have done, you have taken a guidance and you're working on it. But once you work into the projects, there may
Yeah,
be some people who will help you, but it's not that every time they will help you, right? So
yeah,
that way we have to understand how exactly the IT works on, means how exactly the projects work on, how the task needs to be completed. So 3 plus is a very good thing. I will never expect you to go more than 4 plus, because 4 plus once you are again, because they will expect you more from you, but
yeah,
that will be a lot of difficulty, because 4 plus means the tools, more than tools, you need to have more complex solutions. But with the 2 plus and 3 plus it will work out, because the tools which you having, they will consider that okay, the 2 plus 3 years engineer, uh, DevOps engineers means they will be having the basic tasks where we are doing it right now. So that way we will be understanding how exactly it works out. See, it's the same kind of tool, only the complexity increases for the years of experience. The same tools will be using, the complexity means as I showed you the Terraform code, it's a very easy code, but with the going of experience it will be very difficult. Just let me share one screen, just show you how much the coding changes when you go to further levels. See, this is a VPC. So the way you change it, it also changes. See, this is a VPC text with just a file, VPC file. How much big is it? So with the way of experience, this they also expect more from you. So
okay,
the 2 plus and 3 plus years of experience is a very good experience, and I think you have already have Kubernetes and Docker thing. So I think it will be easy for you more than that, because it will easy for you as a DevOps engineer, and even a fresher, because as I've seen in my team, people who are having freshers or maybe 3 plus experience, they will be having very basic knowledge, means how exactly the Terraform works and how the tasks can be implemented, how exactly the things go on. So that's a very easy kind of way it works out.
okay. Thank you, Ashok.
Any more questions, Puneet, Ashwant?
No, sure. Clear.
Any issues, means you have anything, my way of speaking, or maybe I'm going very fast, or you are not able to understand anything, just please let me know.
Ashok, is it only the online sessions that you're handling, or like offline
See,
sessions also?
offline, I will come only on maybe on weekends. That too, not every weekend. Means offline you have to come to the institute, but not every day. Means I will be coming when we are having any assignments. Means the assignment we are doing, I will be sitting beside you and I will be explaining how it needs to be done.
Okay, 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 Ashok, got it.
Because see, I'm working, so I can't come every day to the institute. That's not possible for me.
Yeah, yeah. But if you are available, like it's more than enough, Ashok.
Yeah, yeah. I will be coming. Means I will come maybe twice a week. I mean, sorry, alternate weeks like that because it's not. I have the institute is in BDM and I have been in Whitefield. So the thing to go there also it takes a lot of time for me.
Location, Ashok?
I'm in Whitefield. I'm in
Sorry,
Bangalore.
Ashok.
I'm in Bangalore. I'm from Whitefield actually.
Okay, actually, I'm in Hyderabad actually.